세러데이 쇼다운 젠지 스포츠 대 T1.
So they really need to get some series wins as soon as possible.
Yeah, just anything at this point. I mean, even a game, even a decent showing is what I'd go for at this point in time. As we are hopping to this pick ban once again, we do have first pick for Hunjin Breon. And we'll see what does happen here. And Orianna and Nocturne going to be banned away.
Yeah, still have the Rumble open. You got to remember, game one, DNS went heavy on the AD carries to try and choke out Teddy, and then he had that masterful Jhin game anyway. So now they're going in a bit of a different direction. Obviously, this time it is first pick for Bro, whereas before it was first pick for DNS. Rumble banned. So 3 of the more common bans taken out with Varus, Orianna, and Rumble. Caitlyn taken away, Nocturne taken away. Will DNS ban away the Ezreal? Keep that from Teddy? No one said go on for the Lucian. So there is still the Ezreal available, which we know Teddy's been phenomenal on. Do they prioritize as a first pick? Do they leave it till second rotation? That's the question.
Well, he's talking a lot, and we're getting the camera zoom on him. So maybe, just maybe, they say, well, it is the year of Teddy. Might as well just double down on that.
Yep.
And there is the Ezreal.
So committing to the Ezreal, some of the, the Ezreal Karma is not possible, but Ezreal Nico, which has been popular much to Woodid's dismay, is available. And the question is, what are DNS going to take into this? Is it going to be Sivir maybe? We've seen a lot of Sivir into Ezreal, especially considering a lot of the options have been thinned out so far. Could go like Yanara, Lulu. Could also look to prioritize a jungler here. And get first choice. Instead, going for the Cassiopeia, which we know is a pick Closer feels comfortable on. Obviously did really well with the Deathfire touch changes. But I feel like a very early Cassiopeia pick into an Ezreal who... Honestly, Ezreal does really well in the Cassiopeia because you outrange her and you never have to really go into her face and be threatened. Cassiopeia appreciates when champs are running into it, not so much when they just poke her from a distance.
Yeah. And you would think like, oh, the miasma, good against the shift. Well, he's never really in that position where he's going to be getting caught by miasma if he's playing it correctly, which Teddy will. Thinking about the, well, we're not thinking about it. We have selected the Vi.
Yeah, so when it's a point-and-click lockdown to target the Ezreal, who obviously is a slippery target. Looks like it will just be the Ezreal Nico coming through. Now, if you really want to pick a mid-lane pick into Cassiopeia, you could. You could also just prioritize jungle here. As obviously the pool's been thinned a good amount with Jarvan, Lee Sin, Nocturne, and Vi gone. And that Xin Zhao, definitely a high priority pick. He'll come through. I imagine DN Supers, a lot of teams just kind of pick the top side of the map here so they can maintain a pairing, and they will go by that process. Going for the Ambessa, yeah. 21.4% win percentage. And I do want to say, a lot of those games were before she got nerfed.
Yeah.
So
she's 6-22.
Wow. Well, DN Supers are also a team with a rough win rate, so maybe they feel an affinity and they're trying to break us out. They'll do it together.
I think she got 1 win recently. I forget exactly what series that was, but we just don't really see her anymore because she's just not that good anymore. She got nerfed. I mean, like, yeah, there are moments, especially with Vi, where it's like, okay, you press R, and then you press R, and she goes in and does things, but I'm not convinced, and I think a lot of our LCK teams also are not. They're going to try to protect it with some bans here, with the Jace.
Lulu's gone, so Yanara Lulu not an option. And that just kind of begs the question, what are DN Supers going to play? Bard also being taken away. Probably just a Sivir, I guess.
Or Corki Nami.
You could go Corki Nami. We've seen a little bit of a resurgence from teams on that bot lane. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one pick now and another pick later, so don't have to fully commit to the bot lane duo if you only want to pick up one of them. And it looks like it is going to be the Corki, so probably just the Corki Nami. And then Hanj and Brion get to pick their solo laners. They already are capable of just kind of poking from a distance and outranging. They end up looking towards the Zehen. I feel like the miasma is a bit annoying for him,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest. But you do have Xin Zhao and Zehen, which lore-wise is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's both of him. I feel like Zehen's jawline is a little bit cooler.
That's what got buffed by becoming a
Collie.
Darkin. Akali going to come through for Roma, a pick we've seen him have massive success on. Not the most fun into Cassiopeia, though. Definitely not. So I think Closer, despite just going for Cassio blind, is going to have a great time in the 1v1.
Yeah, imagine having counter pick for both solo lanes, and this is what you end up with. I mean, I think Zion is actually fine into everything except
Yeah,
Miasma.
I personally think they could have taken Renekton in the top lane and kind of just crushed the Ambessa. Like
you could have taken this a much more aggressive line.
Renekton's super popular, and you know, when you know the matchup, pretty easy pickup. And then in the mid lane, I know Roma's been phenomenal on the Akali, and I guess they want to lean into this sort of die-based composition, but it definitely wasn't mandatory that they do so. I feel like, you know, an Aurora pick could have been really hard to deal with here. By the way, Bro pick what they feel confident with, and despite, you know, regardless of the draft, rather, I think there's just such a gap that we saw in Game 1. It's really on the DN Supers to find a way to bridge that. Because it's not just about the champion picks, it's about the gameplay.
Yeah, that's often what we do see when it does come to the highest level. As we're getting ready, let's hop into the rift for game number 2. All right, game number 2. As Hanj and Brion look to extend their streak to 5 series in a row. We'll see if they can do it. And along the way, not dropping a single game would be very impressive. But they got to get through the DN Supers tonight.
This is not a fun time for the Akali. Deathfire Touch and Scorch. A pretty potent combo. We saw Chovy abusing these and just doing a load of damage. And considering how well you scale as the Cassiopeia, having both of those just to make laning easier goes a long way.
You see that Corki Nami? It does things when you hit a couple items. Early on, you know, we even saw earlier today that Guma and Delight were doing a good job of trading with that. Speaking of trading with that, Roamer still not enjoying himself.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is about how I expected the lane to go. Still not a good time.
Yeah, he didn't have to pick Akali.
No.
I just feel like, you know, winning lanes can be very important. They're trying to actually gank him at level 3 here. Gideon gonna show, and there he does go.
There's a Vi here to try and back up Closer, but this has allowed Closer to get chunked out pretty heavily and even the lane a little bit. Oh, push it.
Yeah, Gideon just gonna run into the bush. Also finds Closer, and now he's like, well, I'm just dead, so I'm gonna go in. That's first blood over to Closer.
Not a great start, if we're being honest. Goshik expects Gideon to move in there and is waiting for him. The Cassiopeia as well has so much chase potential with the movement speed on the Q. And an easy first kill pickup. Getting up the Cassiopeia as well. We already saw the lane going bad for Roma. Well, now that Cassiopeia has some extra gold.
Yeah, definitely pretty interesting stuff to start. I can imagine, I can expect them to be very confident, even overconfident, and I think that that's part of what we're seeing with the the Akali pick and also the play, just kind of face checking into the enemy jungle.
Yeah, so even had vision on Pyoshi. And just assumed that he would be walking towards his red and he could challenge. This feels like a bit of a weird play. You have the vision, you have the information. Admittedly, your bot lane has prio, but I just think way too over-aggressive.
Yeah. Speaking of prio, he is going to get away with this barrier, but still doesn't really feel very good down there in the bottom lane that you're already falling behind in this manner.
We also saw earlier some of the runes. This was the runes Chovy went on Cassiopeia. You have Deathfire Touch, Scorch, and Cut Down. And it's just so much free damage in those runes. Oh, it might be caught out here, though.
I mean, Closer does have Flash. There's no red buff here for Gideon, so they're going to get the Flash out of Closer.
Okay, didn't want to overcommit in case Yoshik showed up. But yeah, it's just so much damage. Deathfire Touch does crazy amounts with Cassiopeia, syncs really well. Cut Down does insane numbers as well. Scorch only really does a lot of damage early. But just having so much free damage baked into those runes is so obnoxious. It kind of reminds me, used to be on Lux, you'd often go, you'd go Comet, Scorch, and you'd go Cheap Shot, and it would proc on your E. And it's like your ability was a delivery system, and the runes just gave so much damage baked into it. So
yeah,
Roma not having fun experiencing that on the other end.
It does feel nice, though, when you're the one doing it. It's a lot of damage. There's a pullback, casting, taking some good trades up here. They both have grasp, so stacking it up as much as possible. I don't think the Zahen's going to be really punishing the Mbessa in a big way early on like a Renekton could. We do have Gideon up in the top lane, actually. Potentially trying to make something happen here.
I think you definitely could look for it with the wave state.
I mean, the pullback comes through. It looks like Dudu just going to flash. He's like, nope, not dealing with this. So Gideon, he ganks mid, gets a flash. Ganks top, gets a flash. And now he comes back.
Yeah, helps your laners apply pressure as well. But just hard to, even with the Mbessa being quite pushed up, that champion has so many dashes. As you just saw on display.
Yeah. Grim Deliverance comes in, though. And casting does a bunch of damage and also clears the wave.
Yeah. Dragon being started here, but bro have an idea. Well, they know this is going on. Look at the angles being found here. This is going to be so hard to defend against.
Yeah, Romer's got a nice angle. He's not very powerful on this Akali just yet, though. Is coming on in the Miasma, trying to zone him away, but he gets in anyway. Teddy tanking up a lot, gets bubbled, but now they don't have the bubble, as that is the stun on Romer and Life in a rough spot. Gideon is able to get away for now, as he's trying to survive here on the Dragon. The smite comes through, and they get the Dragon on top of the kill, as Bro will enjoy that fight very much.
Just a really hard position for DNS to be in, with members of Bro kind of flanking around from multiple sides.
Okay.
The flash to stop the recall. You know, I respect it. We've all seen like the ignite to stop the recall. This is just going a little step further. Yeah, so this fight, Roma's in such a good position to just be a constant threat. Like, Closer has to throw the Miasma down just to try and keep him at a distance. And even that doesn't really do anything. Teddy takes a lot of damage, but Arcane shifts out of the CC. And then Roma decides to go the jungle and the bot laner. Doesn't manage to get Enosh here, but takes out the jungler, allows Gideon to get that smite. It was definitely close. A lot of low health bars for Ange and Brion, but in the end, I think Roma was such a massive threat. Managed to allow them to get the win on that fight, and the Dragon as well.
Yeah. He did quite a lot of damage at the end of the day, even though I mentioned, you know, he's kind of just an Akali without an item. But when you have an angle like that and you have access to pretty much everybody, including the squishies, you're going to do something. Casting comes in here, sees the enemy jungle, says hello, and then he walks away. He'd probably also say goodbye, I would assume. I don't think he'd just go in and say hello and then disappear. That's pretty rude.
Fair. Valid. We do say goodbye to each other as well at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's important. This game's still really close, especially considering how much of a blowout game one was. They're holding up better now.
All right, trying to make a play here, and this is the perfect timing to do so. Roamer, though, is able to get away from the stun, and he just flashes and ults away. It's a safety.
I assume the miasma was on cooldown, otherwise he was just dead.
Yeah.
So, not able to hold him in place long enough. Do you get the flash, though, which is something at least. Now, though, Pioshik's going to find Gideon the other way around.
Yeah, Gideon's going to find Pioshik. And now Pioshik, no flash. He is going to get flashed on. Stops the ball from getting over the wall. Not a lot of damage here to Gideon, though, taking quite a while to take him down. But eventually they do get the job done. And that'll be the second death here for Pioshik as Gideon will take his red buff away.
Really well played by Gideon, blocking the Vault Breaker over the wall, allowing him to chase down Pioshik, and even dodges away from the poisons from Closer, not really allowing him access to the fight. Great solo kill to come through, and he'll steal away a red buff as well as a reward. Gideon's just been in such good form these past few weeks. You know, Teddy's obviously been the focal point. Understandably, he's been having massive pop-up performances, but I think Gideon has been the engine for the team.
Yeah. You know, he's been so good this game that he entirely made me forget about what happened at level 3. Which I'm really grateful for, because I didn't want to remember that happening.
It's already out.
I don't think anyone
이거
wanted to
와볼래?
remember.
괜찮아. 파이 노공이야. 아, 싸울게.
I will fight,
와봐.
he says. Please come here.
아, 프린 있어. 노공. 쭉 가볼게.
I have flash.
막았어. 쭉 가볼게.
I stopped it.
잡았어.
I got him.
Well played. Played out as perfectly as he could, and he had the vision set up to make that happen. Now, they're threatening a dive bot lane.
I mean, there's not really a lot of help here, as there's the Nico Altana too, and they just get lined up for Teddy to blast him down, and for Gideon to also clean up. Teddy didn't get either of the kills, funnily enough, but the damage is done regardless.
They end up stacked up on top of each other, which is just prime for Namgun to land a root after the fact. Big ult comes through, 2 extra kills towards Bro, and Teddy's going to get some gold from those plates as well. Not looking good for the DN Supers right now.
Yeah, that was pretty rough, and I do like the timing of that gank, where they just knew that, okay, this is pretty much going to happen without a hitch.
So, I mean, they
Line
just
the
go
group.
for this. You can see DNS trying to clear out the wave, then they end up together because of the Valkyrie, so the root hits both after the fact, which is just perfect for Nico. You know, that's exactly where you want them to be. You know what would have been peak if he just said big dog?
Big dog. Let's get to work. I mean, Coach Song has been it's been very hype in the booth. Him and Duke have been doing a lot of good work. You know, it's hard for us to say exactly what they're doing, but seems like it's working out.
Whatever
As,
it is, it's worked.
Yeah, well, at least Life has. Yeah, well, it's not going to help him there.
Life was unsure if he was in the exact right position to get over the wall and was trying to line it up.
I don't think he was, to be
And then
fair.
he died.
Yeah.
He is very squishy. That's another kill for Hanjin Brion. Ult comes down.
Yeah. He's got the passive stacked. I mean, you don't have to get the kills when you go for that Grim Deliverance, but it does give you kind of total control over the wave.
It's an Ocean Soul, so not the highest prio, but
Ocean Soul.
that was pretty good.
Yeah. I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of that song. The soul itself, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Honestly, if it played that song throughout the game when he had Ocean Soul,
It would be so much better, right?
It would be.
This is the combo, by the way, that I was talking about, the Ambess and the Vi. Nicely done, as Pioshik able to press his ult onto casting.
I think it'd become the highest win rate soul. What other songs do you think other souls would have?
I don't know. Maybe Toxic by Britney Spears for Chemtech Soul.
That is a banger
That's
song.
a good one.
That is a banger song as well.
I feel like it can get a little bit, you know, too much. If you hear that song like 3 or 4 times, it's a good song. But if I hear it too much, I'm like, okay, well, I've heard it.
When's the last time you listened to it?
I don't know. It's been a while, actually. It's not on my playlist.
Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. Limited counterplay. Sometimes that just happens, and obviously Zen needs the passive stacked up for the res. Okay, barrier down. Good poke. Especially when the Nico already has Rocket Bell, there's a lot of threat. And also, you know, one of the things with having Ezreal versus Corki, they build the same first two items. So when one of them has a Triforce, and the other one has not a Triforce, it feels pretty bad. For the one who doesn't have the Triforce.
Yeah.
The one who does have the Triforce feels pretty good.
Yeah, it does. And so they kind of just have to hug turret and hope that Gideon isn't here.
Yeah.
By the way, he's here.
Yeah, he is. On the ult to stop people, and it still hits.
Yeah, well, Gideon's coming in. He's going to kind of hit a field goal as that one is there. Still trying to fight that. Nice bubble. And Life still has flash.
Oh, TP flank coming in. Oh, it got got cancelled.
Wait, he TP'd in front of his eye.
Yeah, it got cancelled. I was like, oh, this could be the comeback play. And then it immediately gets cancelled. And it's like, no, it's not.
I feel like if he TP's in there, I think he might just... I don't know if he dies, but I don't think it actually does anything.
Well, we'll never know because it got cancelled. And now he's sad.
And so am I.
Yeah, we can see the picture-in-picture exactly what happened. He walked up and he used a basic ability to CC him.
Yeah.
I think when a champion can do that, especially because the thing is, we've seen like Renekton's cancel recalls, but they have to get up into your face. He doesn't have to do that. He just kind of tosses it out from a distance, like, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is where it's confusing, because there's 3 melee... Okay, that one was backwards.
Wait, that minion just turned around!
But if you look at the wave, there's only 2 melee minions normally, because you know how they change the number of minions at different points of the game?
Yeah, Nico buff.
So if you're used to like, okay, 3 melee, 3 casters, but there shouldn't be 3 melee in that wave, you know? And if you've used to playing years and years of League of Legends with 3 melee, 3 casters, it'll throw you off. So maybe Dudu was pretty fortunate that the minions started walking in the direction.
It looks like maybe DNS are going to fight for this Rift Herald again. Last time they did this in Game 1, it was okay. Like, they didn't lose the game on the play, but they did not benefit from the play either. So, okay, they're going to TP in the Cassiopeia. And here comes Dudu as well. Casting just keeping this one leashed. He's going to sit in the pit for now. Enosh doesn't really do any damage, although Teddy does kind of get in there. As now the flash comes in from Casting, pulls 2 as Cassio gets the Rift Herald, and now it's a 3v2 in favor of DNS on the left side, but immediately Gideon just walks over. They get the knock-up onto the Mbessa, and that'll be 2 kills and probably 3 as they're looking for closer as well. There's the Shuriken, a bit of damage comes out from Roamer with the triple kill on Akali, and he's feeling pretty good about that.
They just weren't able to deal with Roma on the Akali. They ended up focusing a lot of the damage into Casting, but it's as a hen. He has a way of reviving, and I think the target selection not ideal for DNS. Also, Teddy was playing so aggressive to keep the bot lane away. This is kind of a fight on 2 fronts. On the bot side, we have Teddy playing very aggressively into the Corki Nami to keep them at bay and not let them connect up. We see Casting going aggressive, and Roma's there to follow. And Gideon, after getting tidal wave, says, I need help my solo laners. Namgu moves up as well, but Teddy is just constantly denying access to the fight for the enemy bot lane. And it ends up just being closer chased down as well for a triple kill for Roma. Even when it's like more of a split fight than we saw in Game 1, it still feels like, bro, just they're working seamlessly and know what they have to do.
Yeah. Bishik was trying to gank top, I suppose, but there was a big wave on the turret, so he also didn't have his ult or flash. But he did see Roamer walking away.
It's a 4,000 gold lead almost, and it's 3 dragons to 0 already. So, not looking great.
Koshik did get the eye, so perhaps they can use that to try to get some pressure somewhere and maybe fight for the Drake. Because they're just sieging mid lane turret. Don't really even have much of anything there. They're just walking up to it. They're backing up as a team, clearing vision in their own jungle. Nicely done.
Yeah, so hard now. At this point, Teddy's nearly got his Mirror Mana stacked. He's just ahead of the curve compared to the Corki, basically from now on, because he has that sizable lead. That's feeling pretty bad.
So, do you think that the Hextech Soul theme would be the Tron theme?
Oh.
Or is there a better option? He has red buff. Okay, he's...
Ow.
Wow.
He was just trying to farm the mid wave. He was just trying to exist in the LCK.
Would it be the Tron theme? I don't know, maybe. It is a good theme. It's a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Okay, they're just going to look for the tower here. Kind of hard to dive casting with the Grim Deliverance. So they'll just put the pressure on the structure. But meanwhile, they're being pressured mid, they're being pressured top. This isn't a positive trade for DNS.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really going to be a good angle for the Rift Herald, but I still would have rather him and the team kind of like show presence in the mid lane maybe. But at the same time, maybe you're like, well, we're too far behind, so I can't really put this Rift Herald in mid because it'll just get denied. Not really a lot of angles to get a positive amount of value out of that Rift Herald, so maybe that's just about as good as they could get, which, as you mentioned already, was kind of a negative value out of it, actually.
I think ultimately the pressure was already mounting on the top side of the map, so at least they got something. Roma was trying to roam down and offer some threat. Oh, okay. Grubs secured. Not Grubs, Raptors. I just see Gideon and I think Grubs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pyosic's like, I can definitely fight for this red buff. Honestly, I don't think you can fight for this red buff. They're going to go in on a Gideon. Pyosic is dead. The red buff gets secured by Teddy. So he just queues that down. Gideon secures the rest of it. And DNS don't have a jungler anymore.
Yeah, he really just sent that and took about 1 million damage in return. We're seeing Gideon not going for the Dusk and Dawn we saw last series from Kanavi, instead going for Sundered Sky. But there's still just an absurd amount of burst with the Titanic Hydra.
Yeah, I mean, in our first series, we saw Kanavi going way too deep to try to take a red buff from the enemy jungle. This one was Pyosik going way too deep to try to secure his own red buff.
Yeah, and it's now a 5,000 gold lead of 1:20 until Dragon Soul. So here, the problem is he ends up going quite deep and the follow-up just isn't there immediately. And look at this burst damage that comes out in return. It's also a Xin Zhao. You know, unless you stop him from casting his ultimate by layering CC, he is just going to press that. And then even though the Cassiopeia was not that far away, you just can't do anything about it. Yeah, this feels a little bit tough for DNS once again. They've definitely had more pleasant scenarios to be in.
Yeah. Well, Pyosik is kind of going on a little bit of a journey. And it can be difficult to do that when you're behind this much because you don't have controlled vision. You don't know where the enemy has vision. You can only clear out so much, but you got to try something.
I agree. Look, you're on a big losing streak. You lost game 1. You're 5,000 gold now down. You should just send it on a crazy aggressive play. And just, if it fails, did things really change drastically? No. The game state was bad before, it's bad after. But if it works, that's your angle in.
That's some damage. Still got a Corki. They found Roamer on the backside. Meanwhile, Dudu's just being bullied in the front line as they're going very deep to try to take out Roamer. But at the end of the day, the Miasma doesn't get there on time. And it was a bit of a stretch, but trying to get something here. Roamer now holding the door on the bottom side of this fight.
Yeah, Roamer had to be in Flash and Ultimate, so not the highest value he's going to have in this fight.
And Dudu's on the left, but he's being shadowed by casting. As now they're just going to face check straight into there. Oh, the ult! So the ult is huge from Namgung, picks up 3. And I think that is just going to be the end of this fight, and maybe the game as Enoch is in melee range as Corki. Nowhere for him to run away from casting, so that's going to be the Dragon as they look to push mid.
Just phenomenal setup there from Namgun on the Nico. Pyosik face checks him, lands his root, And here's the thing, they knew it wasn't the Xin Zhao because Xin Zhao was on the Dragon. And Pyosik still, despite that, tries to face check the Nico. Rooted, follow-ups there from Roma. Then this ult is just beautiful. Goes down, but his job is done. You see that DNS kind of know this is do or die. Dudu tries to ult in and make something off it, but he just ends up going down as well.
Yeah.
A 5-for-1. Ocean Soul secured, Baron secured. I think DNS just said goodbye to their chances in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Dudu had a gold lead over his opponent before going into that fight. He actually still had a gold lead there, even with the Baron being taken and after that fight. But it just doesn't matter. I mean, the Mbessa alone is only one piece of the puzzle. The rest of the map is just miles behind at this point. Like, we've seen leads, you know, we've seen big leads even in our first series, but, you know, to have the whole team be this far ahead is basically uncomebackable.
We've seen bigger lanes, leads than this to overcome, but it's so rare. And the exception kind of proves the rule. You know, when T1 got that 12,000 gold comeback against KT, that was so insane exciting because it just doesn't happen very often. DNS would need a miracle here. I think just trying to engage on a target, committing with a Vial and try to follow up, I think it's your best case scenario. A TP flank maybe from Dudu, but it's not up and available yet. Close is getting, this is probably getting poked out. Until you engage, you'll keep getting poked out, and Cassiopeia doesn't deal well with longer range champions.
Yeah, especially ones that have 3.5 items at 24 minutes of the game. Yeah, Teddy, it's just kind of his playground. You know, it is his year as well, but this is his playground. He's playing Ezreal in a massive lead, and he's very fed. He's got the Spear Shojin as well. And yeah, I mean, DNS just basically trying to hold on as much as possible as Gideon says, okay, let's get it over with. I'm just diving this turret, might as well. Namgung doesn't do all too much, but it is okay, as that ult is going to get Dudu in a place where I don't think he wanted to be. I think he wanted to hit the Akali, as it's a lot of damage there from the Akali as well. Casting is just going to Grim Deliverance under both Nexus turrets. And it looks like Bro, once again, will put DNS out of their misery twice in a row, and they will secure 5 wins in a row. The first time ever for Bro.
Huge achievement for the organization, and with how they're playing, I think chances are they'll keep extending this win streak and setting a new record further and further for Hanjin Breon. Huge win. If they want to make Legend Group, they have to beat them out.
Gideon loves Hanjin.
Yeah, I think that's true.
As there is the president of Hanjin Logistics once again, Emily Lee Cho. As we're dancing again. He came into this one
was
prepared.
practice.
Yeah.
You know?
Pass, and your DNS fan.
I
might be like, hey, this is our opportunity.
But
But it's not. Not in this day and age.
I also love the decisiveness from Bro here. You know, we could have seen them slowly siege up, get some structures, the game extends, Elder Dragon becomes a thing. But Gideon just leads the charge. Says, no, I'm going in. We can end this game pretty much now. And the rest of the team is there to follow him. Namgung, 14.5k damage, by the way.
Yeah.
As much as Closer.
But unfortunately, Onks, he's not carrying. So we're going to have to give that palm over to Teddy.
I'm interested to see.
Did you vote for Namgung? No, I feel like probably you did.
Yes. His Karma game was great too. Set up a lot of the plays.
All right, Gideon, congratulations for player of the match. I mean, he did.
In my mind, I think Teddy, Gideon, and Namgung were all great votes. This is sometimes the problem that our top teams have, is that there's too many options, too many good options to POM, and it's kind of a fight.